to do that until he's no longer in office. In terms of the suing of the states, so they're not suing to repeal the whole bill, they're suing to repeal the individual mandate. So as the brother had asked about, will you be forced to get insurance, and the answer is yes. By 2014 you will be forced to do so, and the reason that states are suing is that they're saying that the federal government or any government cannot make you do something you don't want to do, particularly buy from a private entity, purchase something that you don't want to do. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I understand is legally they don't really have ground in that there is precedence in American history where something like that has happened. So I think the vast majority of people within the field know that this is mostly a political situation and not an actual legal argument that they could win.
So even if Republican Party controls the Congress and Senate, the President can veto it?
Exactly, so they would have to control veto-proof majorities, and that is
two-thirds.
Yeah, which is never going to happen right now.
What about any from audience, sisters? You have any questions? If the healthcare reform vote succeeds today, I mean it succeeded also already. 940 billion bill would be the biggest change to domestic policy in generation. The rich and the health industry would pick up the most of the tab. Is this true?
No, in that, at least for the health industry, even though they do have large costs, particularly some of the taxes I talked about associated with it, they are also positioned to make a lot of money with this, particularly the health insurance and pharmaceutical industries, because and actually everybody, because if you have 30 million more customers, you will make significantly more money. So even though there is some costs to them, the profit potential is significantly larger than that. In terms of taxes on people who make over $200,000, obviously those will go up, but I don't know what the percent increase is. I think it's like 2-3%. So it's not, all right, it doesn't sound like it's a significant amount. So
I guess one last question here. I think I pretty much. Okay. What about for people who are unemployed or underemployed who have major health problems? I think this question is related to pre-existing condition.
Yeah. So if you're unemployed or underemployed, currently your potential option is Medicaid. And that's for people that are below, depending on the state, between 100 to 150% of the poverty line. But this bill expands Medicaid in that for a number of things. One, it increases the ceiling for people who qualify for Medicaid to 150% of the poverty line. But the other thing it does is Medicaid is very particular, particularly, well, individual states have rights over what population qualifies for Medicaid. So generally speaking, the vast majority of single males do not qualify for Medicaid, even if you are very, very poor. What this bill does, it expands who can qualify for Medicaid to anybody who is very, very poor. That's one thing. So if you are uninsured or underinsured, currently that's one thing that will affect you. The other thing, of course, is that if you're sick and you try to get insurance and you can't afford it and you don't qualify for Medicaid, there will be the prohibition of denying someone coverage due to pre-existing conditions, and of course there's subsidies available for you to purchase that insurance and limits on your out-of-pocket expenses. So there's a number of things in the bill that if you're not in that Medicaid population where you're poor but you're not very, very poor, you still have options to get health insurance.
We have a lot of time, so
from now until 2014, the insurance companies can still deny you because of pre-existing conditions. Now, from now on to T14, for whatever reason, if you get sick, the downside is that you cannot change insurance because another company can deny you coverage because of the case. After 2014, what happens? 2014, what happens?
So after 2014, they will not be able to, basically if you have some sort of existing condition, they can't deny you for that at all.
That's only if you try to change it or...
For anybody. So whether you're with your current plan or you change your plan or whatever, they can't, not only will they not be able to deny you coverage for that, because oftentimes they just deny you outright, or sometimes they'll say, okay, fine, you can have the coverage, but it will be very expensive. So they will not be able to make the difference very expensive. They will not be able to charge you more because you are very sick. And the other thing that they often do is that if you you have a pre-existing condition, suppose you're diabetic or something, then they will extend your coverage, but they will not cover anything that's related to that condition. So they won't cover your diabetes medicine or whatever. Anything that's related to that condition that you have, they will cover everything else except for that. That will not be allowed either by 2014. So basically anything that they can do that they try to, get around, they will not be able to do.
For adults, for children, I think it's already covered.
Yeah, for children it's this year.
I missed one question. This is last from online. I heard there's a fine for not having insurance. How much it is, and how does the government know whether you have insurance or not?
Okay. There is a fine, and I believe, well, it phases in. So the first year it's like 2%, something like that. And then the first year is like $676, something like that, $676 in 2014. And then it increases up to like 2 or 3% of your income. How they will find you or monitor you is that you will have to report this on your tax forms, and your employer will have to report it on their tax form. That if they provide you coverage, they have to account for it when they file their taxes.
So the 675 yearly fine, or?
Yeah, that's a year fine, except it increases, that's only in the first year, it's 676. So that was one of the issues that a lot of health insurance companies had, is that the fine, especially the initial fine, is so nominal that, if insurance costs $20,000 and the fine is $600, do the math. But it does increase over time.
Any questions, anybody? If not, I guess that's the end of our session. I just would like to quickly thank Council Chairman Zahir Saulul, who recommended you, because I was just talking to him. I wanted a session like this. So quickly he said, why don't you talk to you? And also I would like to thank Nadia Mahajir, your program manager, for coordinating this. She was very quick for all my emails. Thank you again, wonderful audience, Sunday audience. Thank you again. Inshallah, next Sunday we'll have a program on public speaking. So with that, the session ends. Thank you again. Bye.